All right. Hi, my name is Krystian Gebis. I'm the CEO and founder of Autobon AI, and we're automating the entire freight shipping process. So driverless trucks have been on the horizon for the last 10 years, but realistically, how long before most routes are actually supported? No driver also means no paper docs and no phone calls. Yet 75% of shipments are still dispatched non-electronically. Without updated infrastructure, how will a driverless truck even know where to go, who to update, or how to confirm pallet count and a trailer seal? We're solving this by manufacturing bolt-on autonomy kits that streamline the unsexy tasks in trucking for drivers, dispatchers, shippers, and receivers. Our goal is to automate the entire freight shipping process with semi-autonomy for semi-trucks and semi-trailers. We're already incorporating feedback from prospective paying customers and pioneering a next-gen operating system for trucking. We call it Delivery OS. The process starts by creating a smart delivery. All that is needed is a destination, pallet count, and a desired temperature setting. The order then gets auto-dispatched to the vehicle, which uses computer vision to streamline those tedious delivery tasks, provided that at least hardware version 1 or higher is installed. The delivery can then be tracked and viewed with all the information and evidence in one single place. In particular, you can review events all the way down to the level of a single pallet getting loaded on the trailer. We charge a $200 fee per delivery and believe we can process about 1 million smart orders within 4 years. We've built mission control before, but it was just on a slightly smaller scale. It was so out of this world that we won second place at NASA doing so. What we need now is $350,000 to support the launch of our 15 truck trailer pilot in early Q1, which will allow us to grow our revenue to about $30,000 a month later this year. We just closed on $200,000, and with that said, I'd love to open it up for any questions. Thank you.
It's good to see this, and let's get into it. Cruise was founded in something like 2013. We're quite a ways into the market now, and so as crazy as autonomous is, there's a lot of competitors, and so talk a little bit about what they've got wrong and what kind of a different approach you're taking.
We largely see the autonomous problem as one that really is going to require mass scale fleet learning, at least to adopt it at a global level. To validate such a system, running simulations, I think is, that's absolutely needed in one thing, right? But you need to be able to validate across like all roads in all different types of circumstances, right? So I think that the approach by a lot of companies that's been taken is let's build our own fleet, let's buy every single car, as an asset, whatever, on our balance sheet, and let's drive a specific restricted area, map it, and just keep running until we can ship. And so we're taking a different approach from that perspective, where obviously we can't build a vehicle. We also don't want to own a vehicle because the amount of vehicles that we need for the amount of data that's needed is like $10 billion, about 50,000 trucks or something like this. So we're taking an aftermarket approach by bolting on basically a retrofit kit. And that has much lower safety requirements than, for example, a driverless truck, right? So this is a system that augments the driver. And initially, it's a lot of passive tasks that are automated. But there's a huge driver shortage, and we just want to make it easier to perform that job while kind of exploiting the fact that we have hardware on a lot of vehicles.
So is the idea that the driver's still in the truck, but maybe you're taking over during the sleep cycle on a long haul, or what are the tasks that it's taking over?
Yeah, definitely keeping the driver in the picture. That's for sure where we're focusing. And then, long term, absolutely, like, this evolving into something bigger would definitely be like sleep mode on autopilot, basically, something like that, right? But that requires even kind of another generation of hardware, more safety, rigorous, testing and requirements. So,
yeah. And then, how do you plan to go into the market? You said you don't want to build a full fleet. There's the idea that you're selling this aftermarket as an add-on bolt-on to somebody's small fleet in trucking, which at least the benefit is like there's a bunch of small trucking fleets to sell into, right?
Yeah, sure. So this perhaps might be the most unique thing about how we are kind of trying to innovate on a business model here. So instead of just upfront selling this hardware to a trucking company, we say, well, when there is no driver in the vehicle, it's going to have to somehow work very closely in terms of integration with the shipper. And these are two separate parties that right now there's like a break in the link in the supply chain between these two, right? So what we say is if you bring a shipper with you, we'll actually give you this hardware. We'll only do this for the first couple carriers, but we'll give you the hardware actually at no upfront cost, and essentially subsidize that cost for you, basically to kind of create this initial network effect for us, where we, through every delivery that we make money on, we repay that cost. So as far as I'm aware, I'm not sure there's another company that can basically deploy this large of a fleet or have an ability to deploy this large of a fleet.
So if I'm hearing that right, it's this combination of an autonomy stack, which we won't have the time to kind of go through the technology stack a whole bunch here, but there's this combination of autonomy with like SaaS integration software in a way. Like part of what you're offering is that it's more directly integrated into fleet management and the supply side.
Yeah, exactly. So the entire delivery process, like it's incredibly mundane or tedious, a lot of phone calls, emails, and there's just a lot of throughout this process, there's just a lot of human errors. So we see that that's a perfect place to start providing value. And we actually see that for a particular type of customer set in the market, like high value loads, this is actually like extremely attractive and has been mainly our driving force for product.
So yeah, last question for me is actually, I would be exactly about these customers. Like, what's the target segment you think would be perfect for this approach, and who are you going after to be your first 4 or 5 pilots?
Yeah, sure. So we are surely preparing and hoping we can provide a layer of additional security, for example, for COVID vaccine distribution, but particularly, even more broadly, like pharma, medical, is where we see, temperature setting requirements or temperature validation of every pallet is particularly something that they'd be willing to pay for.
Great. Awesome. Well, good luck. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.